Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a short video talking about Ark Survival Evolved on the Xbox One X, and how do I feel about it compared to my negative experience that I had on the original Xbox One. Well, first off, let me just summarize the whole video here. That way, if you don't want to watch the rest of it, this is all the information you need. And that is, it's better than the Xbox One, and from what I've seen at Digital Foundry, I believe it's better than the PS4 and PS4 Pro. So let's talk about the negatives first. The frame rate is extremely unstable when you first load up a world, and if you load up a world that you worked on beforehand, like with some buddies back on the original Xbox, booting it up on the X, it'll run at like 4 frames per second for a while. When I was loading up this game when I first got my X, and I went to play it, I was downstairs on the 4K TV, and I didn't have my Elgato plugged in, but I tried it twice, and both times I loaded into that world, it was a solid 5 minutes of terrible, inconsistent frame rates, jitter, whatever you want to call it, stuttery, horrible gameplay. The game is unplayable for the first several minutes you load up the game, so if you load up the game as you're being attacked by a dinosaur or another player or something, I don't know if there's ever going to be a circumstance like that, but you'd be pretty much fucked. Once you start playing, the frame rate levels out and the jitters become less consistent. I could never get them to go away, and in this gameplay here, with YouTube's compression and the fact that it's a recorded thing at 60 FPS, you might not notice it as much, but there's a noticeable jitter while playing. It gets less consistent as you play and starts to just show up occasionally when panning over certain areas, punching certain objects, or going under certain trees, or looking at certain dinosaurs. Your frame rate will drop for a bit and come right back up. I don't have a frame rate counter, I just know a massive frame drop when I see one, because it halts your character. It almost feels like the weird hard drive writes from Halo. When you're playing the campaign, you'll be going along, the game stops for a solid second, and then comes back. That's the best thing that I could compare it to. Now on the X, it does have some great looking water, some great looking lighting. Texture quality I feel like has been massively improved, even though the character models still are oddly more detailed than the rest of the world. But there is something to be said about the visual presentation of the game. I believe that it's better. It looks a lot better, but it is still a very fuzzy game on the Xbox One X. It was fuzzy when I played on my 4K TV, it was fuzzy when I played on my 1080p monitor. I don't think it's quite as fuzzy as when I first played it on the Xbox One, but it's definitely feeling like a little bit 900p-ish. It doesn't even feel full HD. When Digital Foundry does a full analysis of this game on the Xbox One X, that'll be interesting to find out. They say that the detailed graphics mode puts the game at 1440p. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it as 1440p. Maybe the anti-aliasing is so low that it's impossible to tell. There might be some other visual effect I'm not aware of or can't name off the top of my head, but I've played some 1440p games and I've played some 1800p games on my X, and they look 1,000 times better, so they're definitely taking cuts in other places to make sure this game can run, because I know it's more demanding than other things like Final Fantasy 15 or Homefront or Forza Horizon. It's demanding in different areas, and I have to respect that. Overall, the game does look and feel better, but it's not perfect. I'm sorry, I know people probably are saying, oh, it's the processor, you need to play it on PC, and yes, PC is the best place to play this game. I do not think the console versions are well optimized. I mean, Mein Kampf, man, this game's been out in preview for how long? People have been able to preview it on Xbox and PlayStation and PC and PS4 Pro for how long? And it still just kind of feels unfinished. It feels like a beta. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't have that AAA game, that $60 feeling that I think that it should. Another thing to mention is that the render distance on shadows is pretty low. Honestly, you have to walk up on things for them to pop in, and their details to pop in, and their shadows to pop in. It's tell they made so many sacrifices just to get the thing to run at a smooth frame rate. But here's an unpopular console peasant opinion on this game. I feel like they should have gone for a locked 30 FPS at native 1800p and then bump up the effects. I would have used the Xbox One X's GPU power to promote better lighting, better shadows, better view distances, and settings that are more in line with the PC realm of effects. 60 FPS is better than 30 FPS in every case, but in this case, since I could tell they had to make so many sacrifices, this is the kind of game that I don't mind playing in 30 FPS. I don't mind 30 FPS open world survival games. Now, one of the things I have read is that when it goes into 1440p mode with the detailed graphics settings, it's running at 30, and when you go to turn that off, it goes to 1080p 60. I couldn't really notice a frame rate difference. It stuttered at the same points, it dropped at the same points, and I feel like that's a little sad. I'm not hating here, I'm not mad at the video game itself, I just feel like it needs more optimization. This isn't the final product I was hoping it would be on the Xbox One X, but this is where my friends own it, and so I'm going to keep playing it here. If you guys want me to go more in depth, go into multiplayer, explore the world a little bit more, and really give this game a proper showcase, let me know. But for right now, it's just, it's better, but it's not exactly where you want it. I wouldn't recommend buying this game for full price. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm not hating. If you have any feedback, leave it down in the comment section below, and I will see you when I see ya. Goodbye.